Hi my Fude lovers. So today I have a very special video that most of you are already aware of, but I have my own special collection with ShouShouLang of all my custom brushes that I've created with them thus far. So I just want to take the time first of all and thank everybody who has purchased these brushes so far. They're at the point now where a lot of them are sold out. I am just so grateful and so excited, and just so thankful for all the growing support so far. You all have just been so amazing. I really just couldn't stop smiling. I kept checking the page and I'm like, oh my gosh, like you guys are amazing, and all the wonderful feedback I've received from you so far. It just means the entire world to me, and thank you to ShouShouLang also for giving me this opportunity to work with them. They really are an amazing company. I truly stand by them. Their quality and craftsmanship is unbelievable, and their customer service is phenomenal. When you place your order, typically they'll send you pictures and videos throughout the process for you to just take a look, make sure you approve, and then they do all that before actually shipping it to you. So a lot of care and time goes into making these brushes. They are made to order. So as it stands right now, 28 brushes have been sold. I really just can't stop smiling. I'm just so thankful for all you guys, and I'm just super excited. And I'm sure ShouShouLang will really have their work cut out for them this week. So they'll be busy making all those brushes. But I hope you all love them when you do receive them. I really wanted to get this video up before things started selling out. So what I will do is I will be reaching out to ShouShouLang, asking them about restocks, how soon brushes will be restocked. And I will make sure to update you guys either on my Instagram. I'll update you on my Instagram, and then I'll also make sure to update my description box as well, just to keep you guys updated along the way. So I just wanted to, I'm definitely going to do some comparisons as well, and hopefully they'll be helpful. And that way, if you guys have some of these brushes in your collection, you'll be able to kind of get an idea of what they look like next to brushes that you have in your collection. So I'm going to start out with the big Kolinsky paddle brush, and this is the number 8 on the link with ShouShouLang. So again, this is made of Kolinsky, and it's 40 millimeters in length. And as it stands right now, unfortunately, this one did sell out, and I can definitely see why. It is truly one of my all-time favorite brushes in my collection. I love this brush. And I do feel that it's very versatile due to its length, density, shape, beautiful. And one thing to note, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned on my channel before, but there's definitely different batches of Kolinsky, where you'll notice these two, along with the eye brushes, have a lighter tone, whereas the big powder brush is darker. So this is the new batch, and I'm pretty sure is what you guys will be receiving. And I will say the newer batch is definitely softer. Definitely softer and just more lush. So I'm actually excited for you guys to get it in the newer batch, to be honest. But at the same point, I do love this batch as well, because I am pretty confident using it with creams and liquids, because the hairs, I don't know, they're not as fine as the new batch, so to speak. Granted, I'm sure the new batch would be okay to use with creams and liquids as well, just because the nature of Kolinsky. But so one I wanted to compare, let me see, is my Tapeded 23 Fox brush. So these look to be about the same length, and I just figured it would be a really helpful comparison for you guys just to get an idea of the size. And the Kolinsky is even thicker. You can see the way it comes out on the sides. And even the ferrule actually looks to be a bit more thick, so there's even more hair packed in than the Tapeded. But the Tapeded 23 Fox is seriously one of my favorite powder brushes, as I've mentioned on my channel before. So having it in Kolinsky in a very similar shape is just amazing to me. Just for comparison's sake too, I brought out the Chikuhodo F09 just so you can see, like, the F09 is a massive paddle brush. One of my biggest paddle brushes in my collection. So with the Kolinsky, the 40 millimeter, I do feel, I've had some of you ask if I would use it with bronzer, and I do feel like I could use this with bronzer. Definitely, especially if you put it in a brush guard as well. I definitely think that that could help. So that was two comparisons. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, for instance, the Sonia G Jumbo Bronzer. So you can actually see how much bigger the Jumbo Bronzer is compared to this Kolinsky. So if Sonia G designed the Jumbo Bronzer to be for bronzer, then you could definitely use this brush with bronzer. And actually, I think I'm gonna actually try that next. I really love it with powder, but I'm thinking now you guys have given me a really good idea. I'm gonna try that with bronzer because I really think it's gonna be excellent with bronzer. And then the next brush here is the 06 Kolinsky, and this is the Paddle-shape, and this is 35 millimeters in length. As I'm filming this, this one is currently sold out, and I can see why. Beautiful brush, beautiful size. What actually prompted me to make this custom, and that's one thing I can recommend to you guys. I know that ordering customs can become very overwhelming because you've got to get the dimensions, ferrule size, there's so much that goes into it, and I can definitely see how it can get overwhelming. So one thing I like to do is I'll go through my collection of my favorite shapes, sizes, and I'll look up the dimensions. If the dimensions are not listed, I will then, I do have calipers so I can measure my brushes. And that's been really helpful because, you know, sometimes like Takeda, if you don't, like this one, I don't have the numbering on it. Let's say you don't have it handy. It's just helpful to have those calipers that actually measure. So I actually made it from this Takeda Fox brush. And I will actually, this was one of my older ones. I believe this is the 16 SOVD 35. European dressed fox. I will make sure to update it in my description box. But I showed ShouShouLang this brush initially, and that's how I wanted. This brush was inspired by this Takeda brush. And you can see now that I've washed and used the Kolinsky, the shape is really not as similar. When I first received it though, it looked very similar. And if I put it in a brush guard, it really does look very similar to this one. So you can see the densities are pretty similar. The ShouShouLang is more skinny here and then flares a little bit up here, whereas the Takeda, definitely different shape down by the ferrule, but they are the same length. And that I wanted to share because that's what this brush was inspired by, was this Takeda. So it's pretty neat. And the other one I wanted to compare it to, just for size reference, is the Tom Ford 06 cheek brush, which is now discontinued, but just so you can get an idea of the sizing. Here it is from the top view. And then I also, just for comparison's sake, I had somebody ask about the Tom Ford 02. If I would recommend this would be okay for foundation, and you can see it's definitely much bigger than the Tom Ford 02. I'll actually put them all side by side here. So I could still say that you could definitely still probably use this Kolinsky with foundation, especially because it is Kolinsky. So I haven't tried it yet though, so I don't really want to say it until I actually try it with foundation, but I really would imagine that you could because it's very, very, very dense. There's a lot of bristles packed in here. And what's great about these bristles is when you use them and you wipe them off in a microfiber towel, the product really doesn't get absorbed too much into these bristles. It really wipes off and cleans so easily that's one great thing about Kolinsky, is being able to wipe it off in between uses without having to do a deep clean on the brush, and it's really convenient. It is really nice. Let me see, was there another one? I think it's just because we'll compare it with the Wayne Goss 12. So here it is next to the Wayne Goss 12. And I'd say now that this is bloomed out, it's almost pretty similar, a little bit longer than the Wayne Goss 12. And then the Hakuhodo J5543. And then we have the next brush, which is the Kolinsky. So this is the 05 Kolinsky candle shape brush. This is 36 millimeters in length. And this brush, of course, as I've mentioned on my channel before, was inspired by the infamous Koyudo Radin brush, which I have definitely done a video comparing these two. And the main difference between the ShouShouLang and the Koyudo Kolinsky, not only is the coloring, but you can really see how fine the Koyudo is. It is very fine, very soft. And the ShouShouLang is fine as well, but I would be much more comfortable using the ShouShouLang with creams or liquids versus my Koyudo. I would absolutely never use this brush with creams or liquids. So it is really nice to have the versatile function of the ShouShouLang, in my opinion. And then I also brought out my rose brush, which is also sold on AliExpress from the Chinese Handmade Brush Store. And I just wanted to bring this out to compare for size. And I would actually really love to get some more Fox Chinese brushes in the future. They're super soft and luxurious. That is one bristle type ShouShouLang does not carry right now. They did run out a while back. They haven't been able to restock. So if that does change, I will definitely let you guys know. And I will definitely share that with you, because I would love to make a ShouShouLang custom fox brush, red fox brush. That would be amazing. But yeah, this brush is wonderful. I have actually even used this for under eye concealer. So I put the concealer under my eyes, pat underneath it, and it blended it beautifully. The product wiped off the brush effortlessly. I was able to reuse it without having to wash it. And yeah, it was just great for that. I would imagine also great for blush, targeted powder application. One thing to note too, when brushes are newer, you will get floating hairs every now and then. So 1 or 2 here and there is completely normal. So that is something to note, especially when they're newer. And a lot of these are relatively new to my collection. And let me make sure here, the next brush. So this one I actually have not shown on my channel yet. And I haven't even given it its own dedicated Instagram post yet. So this is actually my very first Saibikoho Goat and Kolinsky mixed brush. So this is 36 millimeters in length, and it's got the matte black ferrule and the African rosewood curved handle. And what I love about the African rosewood curved handle, it's got the engraving, the ShouShouLang engraving, which is beautiful. And I've actually asked ShouShouLang if they do engravings. They don't currently, but that would be really cool one day if they are able to offer engraving service. So I've definitely inquired about that. These handles are the red sandalwood with the matte black. And you can actually see the difference in sizing for the handles. So the African rosewood handle is shorter, curved and shorter. So that is something to note as well. If you like shorter handles versus longer, then the African rosewood is a really nice option. And it was the first brush I got in this handle. It's the only brush I have in this handle. And the way I really wanted to make this brush is I had seen Kolinsky and Saibikoho Goat mixed brushes, but I wanted the mix to have a good amount of Kolinsky. So as you can see, there is a really good amount of Kolinsky in there. You can see how dark it is at the top of the brush. So I actually did this one. This one is 60% Kolinsky, 40% Saibikoho Goat hair. So I thought that that percentage for the mix was just perfection. And it is so incredibly soft. I can actually tell you right now, I will be creating more of these brushes with this exact mix in the near future. So definitely stay tuned, and I'll be sure to have ShouShouLang update my store link anytime I add more custom brushes, and I will definitely keep you guys updated on my Instagram, YouTube, all of my socials, so that way you'll know when new brushes arrive. But just beautiful, true work of art. One brush I wanted to compare this to, let me see, actually very similar brushes that I've already, the same brushes I already compared, but just to get an idea. Again, this is 36 millimeters. So this is the Tom Ford 06, and then the Wayne Goss 12, just so you guys can get an idea. And I really love the density, like it's the perfect density. You can see from the side view. I do keep this in a brush guard, and I just love that square shape. As you guys all know, square shaped paddle brushes are just my weakness. So just a stunning, stunning brush. I love this one. And I actually, looking over here, I forgot to compare this Kolinsky brush with my Takeda 19 OVSSEF. So just for comparison's sake, and you can see this one, the Kolinsky is much thicker, but the shape kind of reminded me of this one in a strange way. So I meant to mention that. Okay, and then let's see. All right, so the next brush here is the 04 Saibikoho Goat hair. This is 36 millimeters, matte black ferrule, red sandalwood handle. And ShouShouLang's Saibikoho Goat is just phenomenal. It is incredible. Look how translucent these bristles are. All the way from near the bottom, I'd say about the middle, all the way to the top. It is just so silky and luxurious. And one thing I definitely wanted to do in this video is compare with some of my Japanese Saibikoho Goat brushes. So this is the Koyudo small powder brush. So here's the difference in the bristles. Now granted, I do not own old Saibikoho Goat. I really wish I did, because I feel like that would really be a true comparison, because nothing really compares to the old Japanese Saibikoho Goat brushes. Softness wise, all right, so here's the Koyudo, ShouShouLang. Wow, you guys, very, very, very similar, which is kind of crazy considering the price difference. The Koyudo is way more expensive. I mean, the ShouShouLang is a true steal. I mean, look, they both have that shine. You can see the Koyudo has just a little bit more shine when I go like that. But softness wise, you guys, so close. So if you are somebody who, you know, always wanted to try Saibikoho Goat, I would say definitely just go with the ShouShouLang, just because of the price difference. See if you like it, especially since Saibikoho Goat has declined over the years. So I'm sure my Koyudo is obviously nothing like the old. So that's something to keep in mind. But, and then let's see. So here's my large scattered Koyudo, just so you can see. And honestly, my large one I feel is softer than my smaller one, just by a touch. I think it's because it has more bristles packed in. but here it is next to it. Yeah, the Koyudo is maybe just a smidge. Yeah, it's softer, which honestly I kind of hope it is because the price difference was like astronomical. But it could also be due to the shape. But I'm telling you, it is, like, if I was to put these on my face, it is so minimal. It's kind of scary, to be honest, because I spent a lot of money on these Koyudos. But wow. I mean, if you're not wanting to spend that money, which most people don't want to, and that's understandable. It took me a long time to buy those Koyudos. This is a wonderful option. It is stunning. I actually want to add more ShouShouLang Saibikoho Goats to my collection because just stunning. I also wanted to compare it with the Tapeded EXS bristles. So here they are next to each other. And let's see. You can see how fine the EXS bristles are when they touch my skin. Look at those tips. And that's what's so unique about Tapeded is their tips are super fine and super luxurious. But softness-wise, you guys, so close. Now, if you're somebody with sensitive skin, you may feel more of a difference than I would, but like these two side by side, you could really see the tips of the EXS though. They're just really beautiful. But when I run my hand through, they are nearly identical, you guys. Wow. So I put them on my face. They feel super similar. So if you're somebody that doesn't want to spend Tapeded's pricing either for their EXS bristles, here you go. Very, very similar in softness. Wow, that's insane. And I'm doing this with you guys right now. I actually haven't even done this on my own compare ShouShouLang Saibikoho with my EXS and my other Saibikoho Goats. I'm doing this like right now live with you guys. So you're getting my initial reactions and wow, like just so similar. Even the look, like very similar. But obviously Tapeded, they've got those little tiny baby hairs at the very top. And that's truly like their trademark. Like really, I haven't had any other brushes like theirs. So they are truly special and I don't regret having them whatsoever. But I love trying out all these different goat brushes and I just think it's so much fun to compare them. And it helps you guys because what a price difference. But yeah, you can really see how fine the Tapeded is. But again, ShouShouLang, very fine as well. And just feels like a bunny paw cloud like on your face. It's just super, super beautiful. Wow, that was interesting. I can't get over how similar that is to my Tapeded EXS and my Koyudo. That's unreal. And then the next brush here is the, let's see, this one is the O2 Red Squirrel Saibikoho Goat. And this is also 36 millimeters in length. And this is a beautiful blend as well. Honestly, I've always been a sucker for the Hakuhodo salt and pepper brushes, the goat and squirrel mix with the blue squirrel. So to have it in red squirrel, I think it's a beautiful mix and the movement it has on the skin is just stunning. I have used this brush with bronzer. It's my favorite application. It is just stunning. And I'll compare it with the Kolinsky Paddle-shape Goat because these are the same length, but the shapes are definitely different. Not by much, but different enough. Different enough. And just to get an idea, here's the Hakuhodo B505. So here they are next to each other. Obviously the Hakuhodo has that diamond taper. This one is kind of more rounded and flat sort of at the top. But you can see these bristle mixes next to each other. The way ShouShouLang bundles their brushes, whether they're just straight Kolinsky, straight goat, straight squirrel, but the way they bundle their mix is literally as good as Hakuhodo. Look how even it is. You know, there's not too much of one or the other. It's the perfect mix. Oh, it's just beautiful. So beautiful. And it's hard to find other brush manufacturers that do it like Hakuhodo as far as their mixes. Like, look at this. It's just like the perfect amount of each bristle bundled into these brushes. They just do such a phenomenal job. Absolutely stunning. Oh, I just love it. So there's that one. And then we have the 01 White Canadian Squirrel Saibikoho Goat, and this is 38 millimeters in length. As I'm filming this, or last I checked, there was one left in stock for this one. So this one, to be honest, I'm confused as far as the bristle type. I know ShouShouLang calls this White Canadian Squirrel and Saibikoho Goat, but I almost wonder if it is, you know, dyed pine squirrel, like white pine squirrel, just because of the look of it. I'm not saying it's not soft. It is stunning. It is super soft. This was actually my very first ShouShouLang custom. So this brush will always hold such a special place in my heart, and like seeing it almost sell out as we speak now just brings so much joy to my soul, because this is the brush that made me fall in love with ShouShouLang. I love this brush. So whether it's pine squirrel or white Canadian squirrel, I don't care either way because it's beautiful. Again, with the way they bundle these mixes, look how perfect the hair is all bundled in there. Just stunning. I just love their mixes. Like, look at these. Could they bundle these mixes any better? No. Like, just perfect. Even the way they do the shapes, like the shape of the brush, like they're just so beautiful. I really hope you guys love them as much as I do. They're just such a treat to use. I've used this one with blush, bronzer. You could even use it with powder if you have smaller features. I know some of you have mentioned you have smaller features. So definitely a nice brush. And it's 38 millimeters, so it is longer than these ones here. And then the next one here is the 03 Kolinsky large eye brush, 18 millimeters in length. And this one is currently sold out as I'm filming this. Again, this was the dupe for the old school, I call it the old school Koyudo large Kolinsky eye brush. To compare it with the newest release of the Koyudo large eye brush, I wanted mine thicker and more spade shaped compared to this newer release. I didn't love the pointy one as much as I wanted to, so this was my chance by getting the ShouShouLang. And here it is side by side. And then I'll compare it with my Takeda Canadian Squirrel brush. Unfortunately, it's not labeled. I always forget the numbering, so I'll make sure to update my description box, but here it is side by side for comparison. So if you do have this Takeda, you'll know for the size. And then last but not least, we have the 07 small tapered eye brush, Kolinsky 16 millimeter. This one, as I'm filming, is currently sold out as well. But I actually created this brush based off my Takeda SH6.5SR European Squirrel. White European pine squirrel, European dressed pine squirrel. So very similar, very similar. This brush was actually the brush that really inspired me to make this, because I have really small eyes, so I really love small blender brushes. They're my favorite. And then I also pulled out, just for you guys, so I got the Refer 14. Here it is next to the Refer 14. And then I've got the Hakuhodo 146. And then I've got the Wayne Goss 19. So you can see it is very similar to these brushes. So if you like these small eye blending brushes, you are going to absolutely love the 07 small tapered eye brush. And it's currently sold out for good reason. So beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So I really hope this video was helpful. I know at the time I'm filming this, some of them are already sold out, so I apologize I didn't get it up sooner. I really had no idea these brushes were gonna sell out as fast as they did. I'm just so grateful. But I figured I would film this so that way when they restock, I'll still have a video up showcasing these brushes, and I really hope you guys love them. Please make sure to tag me on Instagram so I can see your brushes when they arrive. Again, thank you guys so much for your support. It really means the entire world to me. I'm just so excited. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely leave some comments below if you guys have any questions. I'm more than willing to help. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.